All right,
All right.
we're back.
You seem so motivated today. Like, all right, let's do this.
There's a lot of other things that I'd rather do.
See, this podcast is all about authenticity, isn't it?
Sometimes you just don't want to do it, right?
So
the thing that you want to do, or you feel like you have to do.
yeah, like it's like sometimes your passion also is a nuisance.
Yeah, totally.
Right? So what are some things you'd rather be doing right now?
Oh man, I'd rather be playing my games.
Oh.
I got some new games that I've sunk my teeth into, and they're like immersive and captivating, and it's like really I got to do like serious stuff. But then this is not very serious either.
No, I have a suggestion.
Oh yeah?
Not this week, but I'm totally down to ramble and commentate and watch you play games while we do the podcast. That would be fucking awesome.
Oh man, what would that look like?
That'd be so fun. I'd be like, I have no idea what's going on right now. Look at this guy. Like,
you know what? We should totally do that.
why not? Yeah, we'll video it, and then you can try your best to make a comment from time to time, but I'm assuming it'll be mostly my voice.
I think this is a funny idea. All right, okay. So in the interest of like doing what the fuck we want when we want it, and it not having to look a certain way,
Yeah.
we'll be right back.
Oh, sweet.
This ongoing story that happens that like I have say in what it is that I want to do versus
Like that you don't have say.
well, I'm reminded that I actually do have say.
Yeah,
but
right.
But the ongoing conversation is one that says the opposite. It's like you don't actually. You just made a commitment, and now anything else that shows up is, well, you don't have a say in the matter anymore, which is fucking bullshit.
Right.
But holy shit, it shows up so often. Okay, so we're back, and we're doing something like completely unorthodox here.
Yeah,
We're saying, well, we're saying that we have control. But we can actually do what we want to do, and still actually do what we say we're going to do.
how's that look?
Yeah, it looks good.
Cool. Yeah, man, totally. Like there isn't actually a group of people that is here that's gonna be like, hey, what are you guys doing? There. Now we've got some B-roll. I learned that from David. B-roll. We've got some B-roll here to show his wicked screen. It's gonna show some of his gaming while we play along here. And I'm gonna do my best to be like a sports commentator.
That is so awesome. This should be interesting.
I actually, if you're not a gamer, I actually have no idea what we're getting into here. So,
Yeah, so there's a game that I play called PlayerUnknown Battleground. Full disclosure right now, I am not very good at it. It's one of those games that has challenged. I've been a gamer for 10, 15 years, easily.
wow.
From the beginning of that whole
The
idea.
black screen, green, like, you know.
No, well, you know, I had computers. I ran on a Commodore 64, but my grandpa gave
Way
it to
back
me.
in the day, right?
Way back in the
Yeah,
day.
well.
So my grandpa was the one that introduced us to technology.
Sidebar, should I? Yeah, that's weird, eh?
Yeah.
Should I have this on black and white, or do you think it matters?
We can change it. It doesn't matter.
Even after it's recorded?
Yeah.
Oh, I love this guy. Realize I have no idea. Like, at least my ongoing racket is that I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing when it comes to technology. And I want to do video and stuff, man. Like, I want to do that. I'm afraid.
To do video?
Yeah, to do, like, you know, to, like, immerse myself in it and attempt to make videos. Like my own videos. Anyhow, sidebar. We'll talk about that during the podcast. But tell me more about, so the Commodore 64, your old, your grandpa, the oldest person in the family, is the one who got you onto tech.
That's right.
And then how did you discover gaming originally? Like, why is it such a thing for you?
Well, my brothers, all of my brothers and I, and actually my brothers were more into it than I was.
Was that right?
So when I was younger, early teens, I was hanging out with my friends and going out places.
Right.
And my younger brothers were hanging out at home playing with the new Nintendo gaming consoles. We actually didn't have them in the house for a very long time. My parents wouldn't let that happen.
So you were out chasing girls, and they were like, "No, we want to play games."
Yeah, exactly. And so I was actually. This is a funny thing to say. I was a late bloomer to the gaming world, and then
that looks cool.
When I actually started to do the gaming thing, I dove in.
Oh, you went head first.
There was, I became part of a couple guilds, which is just a group of gamers coming together. And I would actually even manage, so there was a World of Warcraft. I'm really fucking geeking out right now.
Oh, this is awesome, dude. This is so, and I'm biting my tongue. You gotta get that. I'm just like biting my tongue right now.
Well, whatever. I don't fucking care.
No, that's the thing. You know what? That is the thing. It's fun to make fun of, but the reality of it is that.
And people make careers out of this shit.
Yes, man. If this is your thing, it's your thing, and it doesn't matter what your thing is. Yeah. That's the cool thing about it.
What blows me away is some of these guys can run a 6-figure income doing professional gaming. Like, it is its own thing.
Doesn't that go in the same vein, though, of like what Gary Vee always says? Like, you can literally, if you're grinding, you can do anything.
You can do anything.
That's
so
awesome.
Yeah, I used to run a guild. I was one of the top leaders in the guild, and there was a group of, I think at its peak there was 200 members.
Wow.
So we were managing 200 people, doing what they called. So there's two different things. You're either running up against other teams, so doing a player versus player engagement, or you're running a raid, which is a dungeon that you would go through with a group. Sometimes there was a group of 50 people that you would have to run through this dungeon and fight computer generated monsters.
Sounds
and
terrifying.
it was hard, right, to rally 50 people around a particular objective.
Right. Yeah. That's actually pretty interesting. You know, I knew a young guy that I did a personal development program or something with, and he actually had such a community of online gamers that they would actually get together from all over North America once a year. I mean, there would be people from even further than that, but just rare, obviously a little bit more rare, because going across the pond just to play some games is great. But anyway, people all over North America, they would like get together in different cities once a year and like meet and game and hang out and like get to know each other in person. And it's like, wow, that's like so intense and actually pretty cool.
The community building that comes out of it is pretty remarkable. One of the games that we had first played at the very beginning of this becoming popular was StarCraft, and it was what's called a real-time strategy game.
Oh,
have you ever heard of StarCraft?
I have. That's a really popular one, right?
Yeah, it's been around for 20 years.
Wow.
And it is still, it's as a game, it set the tone for professional gaming. Wow. And it's been around for 20 years, and it's still going strong.
What's it called?
StarCraft.
And isn't there another one? What's World of Warcraft? Have you ever done that one?
Yeah, that's the big guild gaming, the game that I used to play in the guild, World of Warcraft. I played it for about 5 years.
This actually looks really cool, man.
Yeah, so this is Player Unknown Battlegrounds. You jump out of a plane with 100 other people.
Are you actually online right now with actual humans?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
And everybody's jumping out right now.
What?
So you pick a spot where you want to jump out, and there's some that are really hot, and there are others that aren't. It doesn't have as many people.
Jesus.
And the whole point is to try and be the first one and get your chicken dinner.
You're literally trying to be the first one, to arrive somewhere?
To stay alive.
And are you legitimately getting a chicken dinner, or is that like a
winner chicken dinner is like what happens at the end.
Look at your guy, like straight up, he's Neo, man. He is like head first toward the dirt.
So you jump out of the plane without anything, and you have to scout these buildings, find your weapons and your armor, and then you try and survive. And you'll see everybody else that's landing. All the parachutes.
So what kind of because I know your brother built that tower, right? For you?
Yep.
So you have a pretty, at least decent, like more than what the average Joe would have to get those kind of graphics and that capability.
This is a pretty good machine, yeah.
Yeah, that looks really good, dude. That looks like.
Oh my god, that's somebody.
Was that a person that wants to kill you?
He's trying to find some weapons.
What was with the gasoline thing?
There are vehicles that you can drive around, and they need gasoline.
By the way, when you listen to this podcast, you might be like, what the hell are these guys talking about? And that's fair. I get that. But go check out the YouTube channel.
That's right.
And
The
you'll
YouTube
see
and
this, because this
Facebook.
is extremely entertaining for me. I don't know. If I was on the other side of this, just listening or watching, I'd be like, wow. Because this is like a whole world I know nothing about. And it's... I have rackets. I have stories running saying that I would really suck at this.
Oh man, I suck at
Especially
this.
if you say you suck at it, then I'm like, I'm toast. So is this just everyone against everyone? Winner take all type of deal?
Well, there are squads as well. You can go into a group of up to 4.
So the 100 people that you were with are people you're battling against and trying to kill, or is there other computer people that you're trying to kill?
No.
Oh, he just got you because he has a gun and you don't?
That's right.
You have no guns yet. So basically, at that point, you're just screwed.
I'm done. Now it starts over again.
Oh, are you like entering a new one, or you have to wait till everyone's finished?
No, I can spectate if I want to, and maybe we'll do that, so you get a sense of how the game actually goes, because like I say, I'm not very good at this one.
Well, okay, so let's twist this a bit then. We'll have this playing here, and what is gaming for you? What was gaming for you, 15 years ago, 10 years ago, and what is gaming for you now? Like the why, I guess, behind it.
Yeah, gaming for me 15 years ago was about community, and getting together around a common idea, and an intention to like get good at something together.
Right.
To come together as a group and be able to achieve something. That was hugely the factor when I was doing World of Warcraft, for example. Nowadays, gaming for me is it's like the playground for getting good at something that you have no idea about, like
right.
to dive into the unfamiliar and just figure something out.
Right.
And I actually did a blog post on this. It's on my LinkedIn. It was about what being a gamer taught me. And the biggest takeaway for me in terms of what gaming taught me was that there is only so much that you have at your disposal at any given time inside the game. You start out with a set amount of things available, and you're progressing through this in order to get more understanding, have more things available to you, so you can do bigger, better things.
Right.
And the metaphor for life inside of that is pretty on point. So we are all running our own games in life. And what's really interesting about some of the games that I've played in the past is you have these reserves. You can only do so much for so long. And so you got to be really strategic about what you're going to spend your time on.
Right.
And it's just fascinating.
This
right?
guy's, that guy, you're waiting to spawn in, and that guy just tried to freaking sucker punch you.
Yeah,
that's hilarious.
It is funny. So you can actually punch.
Is that another person who's?
That is another person.
Wow. Yeah, and I mean, but there's also something in here for you around like, sort of being able to unplug and just not be so on all the time, right? Is that fair?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I play like Xbox, but I wouldn't refer to myself as a gamer. I mean, I shouldn't say I suck, but I mean, I'm certainly not,
They're very different, the consoles and then the machines off of a PC.
Right.
And they have their appeal. So I used to play a lot on using an Xbox 360.
Right.
And actually I want more of that. It's and they're pretty expensive. So
yeah, to get set up for sure when you first get it. You know what I used to play on back in the day? I just discovered like a couple free downloads. Like I had no idea what I was doing, but I played Max Payne on PC, and it was awesome. This was probably, it was at least 15. No, oh my gosh, it would have been probably closer to 20 years ago, if I think about it. Because I guess I was probably 16 or something, so that's it, yeah. And I also played, was it Medal of Honor?
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
on PC. And I guess those are probably games that aren't true PC games, right? Like, because they sort of went, I think you can get those games on PC, but for the most part, they're more known, aren't they, on like the console type game?
Yeah, I think so. Oh man,
What'd you do to yourself?
I'm not even really sure.
This seems like it would be really hard, though, to actually, and you also need a little bit of luck, like where you land, what guns or something that you find. Do you see people on your screen there, or are you?
You won't see them on the screen unless they are with you on the same team.
If they're your partner, but so you don't see them on GPS if they're against you.
No.
And do you have partners on this or no?
No, it's just me.
Wow. I like your rebel character there. That's like a complete polar opposite of you. He's like got long ponytail and no beard.
Yeah, so the idea is that you check out all these buildings and they have...
Well, there you go. You got some guns and some ammo there. Deadly. I gotta say, I'm a little distracted.
Yeah, it's all good.
This is pretty cool. So how did you discover this particular game?
I think one of the guys that I play with on a regular basis, he introduced it to us, and so we've been playing around ever since. It's probably been about 4 or 5 months.
Okay, cool. And this, I get this is a this question is probably pretty open for interpretation, but how do people actually start to create that kind of a following and actually earn from? I mean, obviously they have to have a certain level of proficiency with the game and whatnot, but how do they start to actually get that kind of a following where they actually start to earn income from it? Is it mostly from like sponsors and stuff? Are there any income, or people?
So the established gamers will have a pretty strong following on YouTube, for example.
Right. Yeah, I've seen that where my son will. There's this one guy he follows. I don't think he's a PC guy, but his name's Blitzwinger. He does all. It seems like he does all different types of games, and my son watches a ton of his videos to learn stuff. And
I totally screwed up.
the guy's actually pretty entertaining.
Yeah, and it really is that, right? Like you find your voice, your specific type of personality,
Right.
and then you start to create that conversation, that compelling, those compelling videos that now drive more than just creating or documenting what you're doing in the game, but starting to showcase who you are, like the type of person you are. There's a guy actually here local. He's been at it for a while. He's got about 10,000 followers on his, and that's small, I guess.
Yeah, sure.
But he's a local guy, and he's got a very specific way of interacting with people,
Right.
and people actually appreciate that.
That's the interesting thing about it, is that you're interacting with people. It's interesting to me.
I totally landed in the wrong spot.
Yeah, you don't look like you're in good shape here. Can your guys swim or what?
Yeah.
Oh,
But I actually have to be. So this is where I am. I couldn't find it before. This is where I am, and this circle is where I need to be.
Wow, that looks really far. That's awesome. You know, it's also pretty valuable, like if you actually are gaming. Like for a guy like myself, I'm busy. I don't get a lot of time to play. And when I want to play, I'd like to accomplish something, and not like the easy way or cheating, but if you need to find something or you can't figure something out and you're able to, you know, like my son, he wants my help, and I don't know how to help him. He's better at video games than I am. But like you can go onto YouTube and you can search a specific game, and then you can watch a guy go through a level. It's like, holy shit. Or if you're trying to find, like he plays the Lego games, a lot of them. So we're always trying to find these gold bricks, and there's like little mini missions, and you can unlock players and stuff if you accomplish certain things. And people will there's certain things that are really hard to find sometimes, or you don't know which character you need to do a certain thing and level, and then you can go on and find people who are And the funny thing about it is, like, I'm playing here with my 10-year-old son, and the people who are doing the videos are like 40. Right?
That's typically how it goes.
Which is cool, you know. These,
Yeah.
you know, when you're a little kid, you don't have a bunch of money to spend on Lego or games and stuff. So when you get older, it's like, it's kind of like me and my food habits. I'm like, fuck it, I'm a grown ass man. I do what I want, which is not a good thing, but.
Well, and that's the other thing that people do that you find. So a new game, for example, that's come up on the radar, and I don't know everything that I would need to know, and I don't even know that that's something that I need to know yet. Look at a couple of videos that have 200 or 2 million views, and it's just a resource for people who are new to the game to get an understanding of how to navigate it.
Right.
So it really depends what you want to do, right? If you want to do it for an entertainment, to be known as like to play the game really well, or somebody who knows or understands how to play the game,
Right.
then you create that content for those people looking.
Yeah, I think if people wanted to see somebody get absolutely crushed every time, I would be pretty entertaining to watch, I would assume.
It can be.
I guess once you kind of figure it out, like what is it that makes a person good at this? Like they just have an understanding for the landscape, or the.
This one in particular has got so much nuance to it. Wind and distance, from you shooting the weapon, and if it's too far away, it'll start
Right.
to
drop
down, right?
Right.
So you have to be mindful of those things. It's very true to life, and some of these guys, like I
Well, the
don't
other
get
thing
how
is,
they do it.
Yeah, the other thing is too is you might play. I mean, I don't know, but I'm guessing a couple hours a week, and some of these
That's right.
people probably play more than a couple hours a day.
Yeah.
So they like understand.
I just can't compete at that level.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's just like anything else, right? If you're putting in time, you're gonna get that experience. You're gonna get ahead of the game.
This was not a good round. I'm trying to find a vehicle right now.
You've got a long way to go.
Oh man! And so here, this is the time that I have left before that circle actually changes, either goes to a different spot,
Oh,
and or gets smaller.
wow. So I guess part of this podcast is in the spirit of we actually have a say and we get to do it how we want to do it.
Yeah. How funny is that?
Because I was just kind of kidding around, and then you're like, you know what? We'll be right back. I was like, all right then. Oh look, if my wife was busting my chops the other day, I made a video and I didn't shave, so I've got like that like bad guy video game ex-con look going on. You know, the guy that's always got the shadow. There's like those select players you can pick the avatar. There's always the guy with the big face shadow. That's me on black and white. Look at it.
Own it, man. Own it.
Own it. It's all good. Oh look, you're picking up.
Yeah,
Or did you just switch guns?
Just another
Because
pistol.
it looked like you dropped one.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh man, look at your guy. He's badass.
This is what I want, but I still don't have a backpack.
What's a backpack for?
Allows me to hold more stuff.
Wow. You're greedy. Like the amount of detail that they have in these games, I can't even imagine. This is like starts with ones and zeros. Is that right?
Yep.
Oh wow. Are you
So-
getting shot?
No, see this circle? This is
Yeah.
getting smaller. Now I'm chasing it, and if I stay outside of the circle, like it hurts me.
Oh no.
So you got to stay inside the circle.
Wow, it's shrinking quick. You're
Yeah, I'm not in a good spot right
you
now.
got some weapons, but you're getting killed by geography.
That's right. It's too slow. Oh, but up there, there's a bike.
Up there's a bike. That's hilarious. So which circle? The white circle or the blue circle?
The blue circle shrinking down.
Right.
This is the circle that you need to be in.
Oh man, you need to get a car because you're toast.
Yeah,
You're
this
running
is
uphill too. Your guy's in shape.
I know, right?
He's-
You just can keep going.
He is in shape.
It's like, I got this.
Wow.
I got this.
I
There was
wish
a
I
car
could-
here, wasn't there?
Wish I could do that. Holy smokes. I'm sitting here and I'm searching for like a metaphor or some kind of lesson in this.
Well, you gotta pay attention, that's for sure.
Yeah,
If you're not paying attention, you don't know where you land. You realize there's more work involved than was necessary.
Yeah, no kidding.
Like a substantial amount of work. So this is not looking good for me.
Yeah, you look like you're gonna.
Uh-oh. Oh, that's just
What's it say?
an airplane.
Oh yeah. You're toast, buddy. It's unfortunate. What's that?
It's the plane that I was in before that dropped us.
If only you could re-jump, then you'd be doing all right.
I should be able to find a vehicle.
Oh,
at any
actually,
point.
this is sort of an impromptu podcast, anyways, because we had plans to have guests on this week. Is that right?
Yeah, that's true.
And sometimes life happens, and they were not able to make it. I'm sure we can reschedule that. So here we are now playing games. I guess that's what some people would do when plans fall through. They're like, you know what? I could do something productive right now, but fuck it, I'm going to play some games. Which is all good.
Oh, this is horrible.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm in the red now.
Yeah, you're toast, man.
I will die soon.
We've all been in the red before. It's not always a great place to be. Well, at the end of the day, though, it sounds like a bit of a cliche, but you are, at least inside the game, context for life, you're learning. You're making mistakes right now, and you're learning, right?
Yeah, there's always something that you could have done a little bit better, been a bit more mindful of the decision that you made that was maybe a bit hasty.
Your guy just collapses.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I'm dead. I'm out of here.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Battlegrounds.
So this game frustrates the hell out of me. And if I'm not playing with my boys, I usually don't last very long. Especially if it's in there's certain times during the day where the players are
Really
much better.
Right.
And I don't even know how they're able to do half of what they do.
You know what?
I just don't want to do it.
It probably comes down to, like I said, the time spent. I understand that some people are, well, I guess it's not an overstatement to use the word addiction, right?
24/7 sometimes.
There are people who are addicted to this stuff.
And that's the other thing that's really, that you have to be mindful of with this type of stuff. So I created that I'll play my games when I have actually implemented or completed everything that I said I was going to do. And if I haven't done that, then I'm not playing any games
right.
because I'm not even enjoying it anyways.
Yeah, because you're stressed out.
In the background, I know there are things that I haven't done yet.
Right.
And so here I am playing a game, not doing very well because I'm not enjoying it. I'm not focused because I'm in my head about all the stuff that I should be doing in the moment.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, so that's one of the requirements for myself in particular. I will play the game when I know that that everything that I possibly could have done that was critical to do is completed.
Right.
And then I feel good about spending an hour, half an hour, or whatever the time might be here, right?
I have that same sort of thing when it comes to things that I listen to and watch, because there's things that I listen to and watch that are important and educational and good for my business and my life. But then it's like sometimes I just want to listen to like my comedy podcasts, or like I just want to, you know what I mean, listen to something that is funny and entertaining, but isn't necessarily adding a ton of value in my life, right? Although I have to say, a lot of these comics and stuff that I listen to is really interesting because these guys are passionate about what they do, and they actually talk about their level of success from the context of comedy and how they're always out, hustling. They're doing spots all the time, so they're always at the comedy clubs, doing 5 and 10 minutes, working things out. They say bombing or working through things, and they talk about different people who they don't say names or whatever, but they say like there's certain guys that are like what, they're just in their bubble. They could be blowing up, but they'd rather just stay local in this town, or they're not working. They're too fussy about the spots that they do or the times that they get. Like people tell stories about Dave Chappelle. Like Dave Chappelle will still show up at different comedy clubs at like 2 o'clock in the morning and do like a half an hour or an hour. Or they're like, yeah, we're hanging out, there's a group of us, we're having a good time, we did comedy earlier, then we go out for drinks and have some dinner, and then everyone's like, oh, it's like 2 in the morning, like, what do you guys want to do? And Dave Chappelle will be like, yo, let's go to the Comedy Store. You know what I mean? They're like, what? And he's like, and all of a sudden he wants to go back to work and just work out some stuff, right? It's interesting because, I mean, he's like well known by a lot of people as like the greatest, right?
And he's still willing to do that.
And he's still like, I don't care, I'll show up. There's like 10 people in there, not even. And then now Dave Chappelle's on stage. It's like, that would be so cool to be in attendance.
God.
You're in a hot zone, buddy.
Oh, man.
You're in a hot zone.
Am I ever? I'm in the wrong building.
Okay, so I think this was a pretty interesting podcast. I definitely think there's some things that we can pull out of here that are of value for life. And it's also kind of fun and funny. So we're going to phase out here and let David play a little bit more and film up a little bit more. But I think that's the podcast for the week.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
David's like a little zoned out, and I have no idea what's going on here.
You know what? I don't have much idea what's going on either. Just like trying to find the weapon that will protect me. And not rushing to it. See, there's a guy over there.
Oh, and if you're a gamer, you're always welcome to say hi at thegistpodcast.com, or anybody is welcome. We've been encouraging people to write in and ask questions or share stories or tell us what you get out of the podcast. Why do you listen? Oh, man, that was...
Scared the shit out of me.
That's hilarious. There is something about being in that, though, hey, that it just... It's nerve-wracking.
It is. This one in particular, man. I've played a lot of...
As you're scavenging against real people. And
I've played a lot of these first-person type shooter games where you have a squad of people and then you go up against another squad.
Yeah.
But this one, there's something about this one. It is so fracking hard.
It kind of reminds me of like a cross between like a Grand Theft Auto and like a Walking Dead or something like that. Like some kind of a... But you know what I mean?
Oh, man, some of the other games. So...
Oh, my camera turned off.
Nice. You got to get some new memory on that one.
Yeah.
We have no idea what's coming out of this episode other than that sometimes there are things that that are appropriate to take on, and sometimes they're not appropriate to take on.
So what do you mean?
Well, there's still a lesson in taking some time and playing around, quote unquote playing around, and
Right.
getting connected to why do we play around?
Yeah. Good point. Because I would say for yourself and probably a lot of people, like, doing something like this actually adds value, whereas for a lot of people it's a waste of time and they should not be doing it.
Yeah, and it's all in it's, you got to be responsible for the balancing act.
Yeah, right.
In your life. So this allows me, in the small amounts, and the blog that I wrote about it talks about this, it allows me to just regain a new, refreshed perspective on maybe something that I was grappling with.
Right, because you put it over there for a little bit, and
right.
then it kind of comes back.
And then when I come back to it, there is a new, most times there's a new approach, a new perspective, a new way of looking at it that might not have actually been there before.
Right.
but there's this balancing act that needs to be respected.
Right.
You can't just.
Well, I think that's where you get the pleasure and the joy out of doing whatever it is whatever that relief thing is for you. Yours might be gaming, but if you too much of anything is not good.
That's right.
So if you abuse whatever that is, it no longer becomes like a reward system. It's more like just abuse, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's a vice now.
Right.
It's something that a bit of a crutch, even, and you
Yeah.
feel like you're constantly justifying it and allowing yourself to do it, despite the fact that it's actually not serving you in the moment.
Yeah, so I guess that's the overarching lesson there is that we're talking about is there's a lot of people who have things. You probably have things that you enjoy that make you feel good, and you actually make yourself wrong for participating. And if that's the case, maybe instead of looking at, I can't do that thing anymore, maybe look at how and when and why you do that thing, and what are the things that you're neglecting that maybe you could focus more on and say, now I can go play some games because I took care of X, Y, Z.
You did that thing,
Right?
Yeah, and that it actually took me a bit to get to that point for myself, because I was making myself wrong for taking the time to do this kind of stuff.
Yeah, we've talked about that before on the podcast as well. Where look at that, you got all kinds of backpacks.
Oh yeah, now finally, jeez.
But we've talked about that before, where it's easy to. It really is. Oh wow, you got the gold mine.
Yeah.
It's easy to blow things off.
Totally.
And just like,
And so justified.
Yes, and then it's so weird because later you'll kick yourself. You'll be like, why did I
Repeatedly.
waste all that time? It's so fucked. Yeah, it's awesome. And then the cool thing about all that is that we continue to just believe that we're so much different. Like, other people don't do that. Why do I do that? Other people don't do that.
Totally.
Right? That's awesome.
Beat yourselves up.
What was that, episode 23?
This is episode 23, yeah.
Would 25 be like a milestone in your mind?
Yeah,
25 is a milestone, right?
we could.
I think every episode is a milestone. Because there was a time where we talked a lot about doing a podcast.
Yep.
Right? Well, thanks for listening. I think I said we would finish, and I think now we're
There
finished.
we go.
Oh, shit.
Got a little bit of lag right now.
Oh, yeah. Let's see you get a kill.
He's in there somewhere.
He is in there. But he also knows you're out here.
Yeah. So that's the other problem that I do. I jump the gun.
Yeah, I know. I noticed that.
Oh
The
man,
guy
there's a person.
was like running, and you're like, "Oh, I'm a sniper."
I'm gonna kill him right away, and I never, ever, ever hit him. There he is.
I don't even know how you can see that. Oh, there he is. Oh, yeah.
But I don't have a proper scope,
Yeah.
and this makes it very hard.
Need to be a little closer. But I wonder if there's like a back door.
Oh, definitely.
You can see him running out the back door and toward the trees. The other thing you have to walk out for is not getting your throat slit from behind.
Well, you can actually hear people walking around.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
This game is so interesting in that it really. Oh my God, that was beautiful.
Did you kill a guy?
One shot.
Oh, I missed it.
You did miss it.
Shit.
I was gonna say this game really rewards patience.
No kidding. I did see the stat though where it said 1 kill.
Yeah.
So you hit him right in the head?
Yep.
Nice work.
That normally does not happen.
No, for sure.
I'm like
But still, that was
sporadic.
that was pretty sweet. Can you go in and now steal the guy's shit?
Yep.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, look at him. Oh man, I had so many hopes and dreams.
Let's see. Oh, nice. Scope. Yeah, I'll take that. Thank you. Oh, there's somebody else.
That'd be good for tomorrow night. Sounds like it. Can you go up and find a window?
I'm gonna wait for them to come in.
Oh, that's a smarter choice.
Sometimes.
Ooh, that sounds like someone's close.
Yep. But this is the only way to come up, so
Is it? Why are you aiming at the ground?
we'll find out.
Okay.
They're inside.
They're inside?
Yeah.
So they're gonna come through that door? The
We'll
white?
come around the corner, or through, most likely around the corner. This corner.
Oh boy.
Come on, you fucker.
I missed the first kill. I gotta see this. I gotta see you kill somebody here. You know what I used to play on Xbox a lot? I used to play golf.
Fucking kill him. Just screw it off.
Oh, he got ya! Son of a bitch. Do you think he heard you leave or something?
Oh, probably. The car drove away, and it was probably his buddy, and then he went up. Like, these guys are fucking smart. That's the other reason why this game drives me nuts, is I'm not smart enough for this game.
I'm too dumb to play this. That's hilarious.
Fucker. Fucker.